Hey guys, and welcome to this video of cardiovascular diseases. So this video is related to the diseases of the heart and blood vessels. So the heart is a fantastic organ that pumps blood around the body, but in order to do that effectively, it would need to have a very rich blood supply. So here you can see some blood vessels outside the blood, and these are coordinated blood into the heart. So one type of cardiovascular disease which is associated with the blood vessels is called coronary heart disease, and this is when the blood vessels become blocked and narrowed so they can't supply oxygenated blood to the heart. So over here we're looking at an artery, and we can also see that it's very common for the artery to get blocked with fatty deposits due to lifestyle and other measures. As a result, the artery gets narrowed. This means that less blood gets delivered to the heart and less oxygen gets delivered, there, so this can eventually lead to a heart attack. One effective way of treating this is to insert a wire mesh, which is also called a stent. So the stent gets inserted into the blood vessel, into the blood vessel of the patient along with a balloon, and then the balloon is inflated, pushing against the wire mesh, causing it to expand and widen, creating space for the blood to go through. The balloon then gets deflated and removed from the body, and the mesh stays extended and keeps the blood vessels open. However, this can be a disadvantage as there is a partial obstruction in the blood. So when the blood's passing through and there's an obstruction, platelets tend to accumulate at the obstacle and then form a blood clot. So a patient that has received this type of treatment will have to take regulation drugs for their remainder of their life to stop blood clots forming. So what causes fatty deposits? So one of these things is cholesterol. So cholesterol is an essential lipid that the body makes. It's made in the liver and it's needed in the cell membranes. It's transported in the blood to where it's needed, but if there's too much cholesterol being transported in the blood, the excess can be deposited in the blood vessels, so that contributes to the fatty deposits. So poor diet, lack of exercise, and genetics can also increase bad levels of cholesterol in the blood. This leads to fatty deposits and narrow arteries, and when this happens, the patient has coronary heart disease, which can lead to heart attacks. Before the meshes are used to treat the disease, medications such as statins are prescribed, and those lower cholesterol production. So these do have side effects, and some bad side effects could be liver and kidney damage. Okay, so over here you can see three different types of things that can be used to treat diseases in the heart. So there's a pacemaker, valves, and complete failure of the heart. So for a pacemaker to be needed, so what goes wrong is that the cells in the heart, usually they're located on the right hand side top of the heart that controls the heartbeat. So if they get uneven, so the heartbeat would start going uneven, so that would cause problems in the heart. So the treatment for that would be, there would be an artificial device with two wires that mimics a pacemaker. So a pacemaker is basically an object that controls the heart rate. So the risk would be that you would need regular checkups for this. So also, the next issue would be that in the heart, if the tissue stiffens and can't close, then there would be blood flow in the backward direction, which is very bad as it can cause blood clots. So for this, you'd need a replacement of valves in the heart. So there's either two types of valves, biological and mechanical. So a biological valve would need to be donated by an animal or a human, and a mechanical valve is made from a polymer such as titanium. So an advantage of mechanical valve would be that it lasts longer, and I'd personally say that mechanical valves have more advantages than disadvantages, but however, there are some disadvantages such as rejection, as your body may reject the mechanical valve. But this is also a risk in biological valves. So as I just said, the risk is rejection, and this can also cause clotting. So if there's complete failure of the heart, we would need a transplant from a donor. So from the donor list, someone would have to donate their heart for a heart transplant, or we can give them an artificial heart to sort of sustain them until a donor comes in. So the risks of artificial or donor heart is that there's rejection, as I said, and artificial heart would be a short-term thing, so they would have to stay in hospital to be checked over. So on to the exam questions. So this is just a 2-marker. You can pause the video and have a go. So this is the answer. So it was diet, genes, and yeah, that was the 2 marks. So that's it, guys. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe.